Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. I hope we are doing fantastic. Good morning, Mr. Allela. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Ann. I'm well. How are you today?
I'm okay. Thank you guys for joining us today for this Picha talk. We want to dive into the world of NFT and a little bit about the metaverse and how it gets to affect us as African artists, yeah? So a little background on us as Picha Images. We are a technology imagery company, and we have the belief that businesses should leverage on having good shots, yeah, great images, yeah, and every company does deserve a great image, yeah. So our key thing is that we leverage on technology to be that aspect that takes us to that next level, yeah. We also in the midst of building a community of photographers, videographers, who are there to assist one another, yeah? Because there's nothing as amazing as having like-minded individuals whom you share the same qualities, values, and that you want to grow as a community together. So that is basically our main thing. And we hold these Picha talks not just to advantage the community, but also to give people that drive, that extra knowledge that you can actually change, or you can metamorphosize yourself and your company depending on what is available in the market, yeah? Let Google be your friend, that's what I mean, yeah? So today we are having Bonarita Allela, one of our co-founder of Picha Images. He's an award-winning photographer, filmmaker, and he's there to celebrate culture and heritage. As you can see, even the images behind him, yeah. He's into the fact that we should tell the African story, and in a way that makes us not what other people think about, but what we are. And personally, I'm your host today. My name is Anne Kaluvu. I'm a lecturer at JKUAT. I teach IT, that's my main area of specialty, but I'm also a blockchain researcher. And that's why this is such an important avenue for us to be able to give information and spread as much as we can about the world of blockchain, the Web 3.0, and all that, yeah? So now, Bonarit, what do you want to tell us? Just a little bit something so that we can warm up to this talk.
Well, thank you very much, Anne, for the introduction. And it is a pleasure to be sharing this information today. And I think it's been a long time coming. Many artists want to get into the NFT and the metaverse space, but they do not know how. Personally, it's been a long journey of learnings to get into that space, and I'm happy to share all the knowledge and information that I have today.
Awesome, that sounds amazing. So to just start us off, because a lot of times we don't even comprehend, or majority of us don't comprehend what we mean by NFT. What would you say NFT is?
So an NFT is a the acronym stands for non-fungible token, which basically means that it's a crypto token, which is a one-of-one on the blockchain with unique metadata on it, such that anyone on the blockchain is able to see, verify, and authenticate who owns the artwork, as well as who buys the art. Now, NFTs come in different forms, and they can be artworks, they can be in the form of music, they can be in the form of collectibles, etc. And the craze started about 3 to 5 years ago, but it's only been picking up majorly in the last 2 years. And it is an exciting space that is growing very fast. And I cannot wait to see what is ahead for all the African artists in the space.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, and just to give an understanding, yeah, like for the people who are hearing words like blockchain being thrown around, when you talk about the crypto space, yeah, there's so much that is happening. And I feel like when people hear about blockchain, you just assume it's all about cryptocurrency, but that's not it, yeah? It's actually a platform where you get to bring in things that are, or whatever information that you're putting on, yeah, it's actually visible for for all to see, yeah? So it brings those elements of decentralization. It brings the element of consensus, like people are actually agreeing to something, yeah? It also brings in the element of distributed, yeah, network, which is actually what the Web 3.0 is all about, yeah? So we have all these things that are there. So don't be afraid when you hear blockchain or all these things. It is actually just a platform to make all these things visible. I like what you said, Rich, about the types of NFTs that are there, because I feel like there is a misconception on what an NFT is. Yeah. So if you talk about, we've talked about artwork, we've talked about music. How does one get to choose what kind of NFT? Or can you choose an NFT and then work with it? What do you think as an NFT artist?
So let me begin by perhaps listing down the different types of NFTs. And there are about 7 different types, where the first is an artwork. And this can be a unique creation. And most of the time, it's a one-of-one piece that is created by the artist. And the second can be avatars or profile pictures, which is similar to what we've seen with the CryptoPunks of late. And many projects are going along the same line to create profile picture avatars to sell as NFTs. Then the third type is generative art, and that just sounds exactly as it means. This is art that is generated from computers. So you input a design, and the computer runs all the processes to generate for you 5,000 or 10,000 pieces. The other type of NFTs are collectibles, and these are focused around memorabilia and rare items. So things like sports gloves, sports accessories, musicians, picture maybe Michael Jackson's glove. That could be a very good collectible NFT. And then we also have photography, which has risen in the past, and it is another form of NFT that can be sold. And this can vary from unique pieces of single images to a series of images done as a collection. The other types of NFTs are music, and an artist can sell the music as an NFT in whole, or they can sell parts of the music, which can be owned by different people on the blockchain. And last but not least, we have gamified NFTs, and these are NFTs that are generated from video games.
Oh, awesome. Wow, that's quite elaborate. And I feel like you've made it as simple as possible for anyone who's in that space to get even interested in that. So if I would ask you, like, what made you as Rich Allela to decide that NFT might be a space for me, yeah, as an African artist?
So as an artist, one of the things that I've always been keen on is not just creating good art, but also making money from my art. And in the past, I have sold art in the physical form through exhibitions, and I've seen how powerful it can be as a secondary income to an artist, especially during COVID in 2020. Most of that period when there was no work, I survived through my art. So when I learned about NFTs, it was another avenue to generate more income in a passive manner. And the more I read about it, the more I learned how it works, the more it made sense. Yeah.
Ah, that's amazing. So in short, what it's trying to say, don't sleep on your stuff. If you're doing a lot of photography, if you're taking a lot of amazing images, because if we check out our social media pages, people have beautiful things or beautiful images and pictures, and people are quite artistic, yeah? So this is a platform for you. It's a platform for you to, as Rick said, to do something or gain income passively, because all you have to do is create it and put it in a what? In an NFT marketplace. Now I'm talking about the marketplace, yeah? what is an NFT marketplace?
So an NFT marketplace is a platform where you get to sell your NFT. Think about it as Amazon or eBay, but instead of selling physical goods, they sell digital assets. And at the moment, there are various numbers of marketplaces available, from OpenSea to Foundation, Super Rare, and many more, which an artist can feel free to explore and see what works best for them. Personally, as Picha and Rich Allela, we use OpenSea as a marketplace where we launched our NFTs. And one of the reasons why we went with OpenSea is because it is the largest marketplace at the moment for NFTs in the world.
Ah, awesome. Yeah, we actually, when you talk about the marketplaces, something that I've noted is that there has been a rise. We are talking about now we are pushing up to the level of 40 NFT marketplaces being out there. And it's so crazy that just within a span of a few months, guys like who, they're called Looks Rare. Yeah, they just came into the space. Yeah, and they kind of took it by storm. Yeah, brought out an airdrop that they did, and $240 million just within a span of a few months, like between January and end of February. So what you're saying is that people are not sleeping on this. Yeah, this is something that we are actually seeing artists. It's not a fad. It's not one of those things. It's not going to face off. Yeah. So it's one of those things that is there. So now, Rich, when you're selecting an NFT marketplace, yeah, what are some of the things that you should look out for? Yeah, because I'm imagining many people have not, I mean, you're trying to start on this space, yeah? So what do you look for? What do you look for in a marketplace?
So when you're looking for a marketplace, there are things that you need to, there's specific things that you need to look for. For example, how long they've been in the market and the reputation of the marketplace. Because, you know, in the crypto world, things appear and disappear very fast. People have lost money. People have lost artworks. So you need to do a lot of research before you decide to go a certain way with a marketplace or an artist or a trader. The top 3 marketplaces that I would recommend are OpenSea, Foundation, and Super Rare. These have been there for a while, and they have a reputable name behind them. Now, getting on OpenSea is the easiest, and they have minimal gas fees. Then we have Foundation, which also has a good traction behind it. And for Super Rare, it is a bit hard to get into Super Rare because as an artist, you have to send your work to them for authentication before they can admit you on the marketplace. So that also becomes a barrier to entry for most artists. With OpenSea, you put your work in and you're in. No hula balloon.
No hula balloon.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we're saying that with all these marketplaces, it has to be about reputation. Yeah, because if you're in a weird place, and I mean, this is hard work. Yeah, artistry is hard. Yeah, talent is super hard. Yeah, having all these things. So don't play around with your money just to say that you're part of an NFT, part of an NFT artist. Now, something else I'd add on to when you're looking for a marketplace, I also think it's also good to look for a marketplace that carries multiple projects. Yeah, you don't single projects like what you talked about, Super Rare. Super Rare is more art. Yeah, that's the kind of art that they pick up. But if you're into collectibles and other things, places like OpenSea, they're more general. So they actually carry on multiple projects in comparison to single projects. Yeah, but also the beauty of Super Rare is that your art is authenticated. So even the people who are there in the marketplace to buy all this, these are serious people. So there was also been some jokes around like what kind of art, when people heard about NFT and they just wanted to push in anything that they feel like they can get money on. So also just be on the checkout on that, yeah, because you actually want to get the best for your bargain. Also look for things that have support multiple payment options. You don't want somewhere where your digital wallet is being minimized by the kind of the kind of marketplace that you've chosen. Yeah, again, OpenSea is one of those very flexible, and they look at so many other things. Like they can support a lot of digital wallets. Yeah. Now you've touched on something when you're talking about the marketplaces. Yeah. You talked about something called gas. What is gas?
So I think before I answer that question, okay, I will walk us through how to get started. Okay. So in order for you to list your work on the marketplaces, you have to begin by creating a wallet. And this is a digital wallet where all the cash you receive will come through. And it is the same wallet that you use to pay out or buy other assets on the blockchain. Now, there are different types of wallets out there, from Coin Wallet, MetaMask, and many more. And signing up is not that complicated, but I would recommend that before you sign up on any wallet, do your research, because this will hold a lot of your assets. So if you use a company that is not reputable, all your money can disappear with the wallet. Secondly, you also need to take care of your password, your wallet password. And there is something called a seed phrase, which you are given. And this should only be known to you and you alone. And this is what helps you recover your wallet in case someone hacks it or the password is changed. So once you have a wallet, you can now go onto any of the marketplaces and open an account. Now, once you open an account, in order for you to list your work, or rather, as they call it, to mint your work, you need to pay a small fee called the gas fee. Now, this is like an initial transaction fee, which enables the miners to get your work on the blockchain platform. And since the process consumes a lot of energy and resources, that's why you need to pay the gas fees to take care of that bill on the other side. And most of the time, this is also a barrier to entry for most artists, because it means that you need to have some money in your wallet before you can list or mint your work on the marketplaces.
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, so this is one of the issues that artists are, actually, thank you for the nice, how you put it, yeah, for the process. Because I feel like a lot of people keep asking, like, how do I get into it, yeah? So you need a digital wallet, you need a small amount of money, yeah, which is the gas price that is there. What is the most common that you use when they're talking about gas? Mm-hmm.
In terms of the wallet?
Yeah, the wallets.
So I use MetaMask.
MetaMask, okay.
Yes.
So there are many kinds, yeah? Yeah,
yes.
There are many kinds depending on the kind of blockchain that you are, the kind of traits that you want in the wallet that you want to use. So again, do your research, yeah? Make Google your friend. Yeah, so we've gone through the process of this, and I want us to speak about this from an African artist perspective, because majority of the time when we look at technology, we get a bit intimidated. Does it fit us? Is it good for us? Are we just being used, or does it, the technology that you're trying to adapt, does it adapt for the African market? So what would you range as, do we need an NFT marketplace that is specifically for Africans, or can we get involved with what is already in the market?
I think one of the beauties of the blockchain is that it has revolutionized access to assets, to information, and it has made the potential to create money, or rather the potential to share your work easily, cutting out the middleman. So at the moment, most marketplaces are Western based, which is mostly driven by volume, because a lot of volume comes from the Western world in terms of the artworks and all the collectibles. But I think that we need to have an African marketplace that advocates for African artists, as well as African digital assets. And this is all driven by volume. With a population of more than 1 billion, I believe it is possible. Yes.
For sure. Ah, awesome. Yeah, because I feel like just adapting to things because they suit a certain market doesn't necessarily translate with what can be great for us. So that's a challenge for all the companies out there, Picha Images, I'm not naming you. It is a challenge for us to try and create something that actually works for us as African artists. Now, we wanted to touch on a little bit about metaverse, yeah, because I feel like this is a topic that is kind of out there before I go back again to NFTs, yeah, but just to give our viewers a little insight of metaverse. What do you term metaverse as?
So the metaverse is the most interesting alternate universe that we're going to be living in the next few years. Yeah. And to put it simply, it is an alternative space to what we have in the physical world right now. Think of the land, think of the games, the properties. So the metaverse has everything that we have in this world, but in a digital realm. And with this, it creates the opportunity for people to also add on to it, create their characters in that world, create games, create marketplaces, and even on land. So it might be hard to explain in terms of words, but if you really want to understand the metaverse better and the potential in it, I would recommend you watch a movie called Ready Player One. Now, I'll give a brief summary of what the movie is about, just to give you the picture. The movie is set in a time where the people living on Earth have just gone through a war, and everything that they had has been destroyed. Their houses have been crumbled, their malls have been blown up, and it is not a beautiful existence to live in. So what the population does is they go to their houses, put on these VR goggles, and go into the digital world where they get to interact with each other. More kind of like in social media. But whereas in social media, you have your profile picture, in the metaverse, you have your avatar. So this is a full figure of you that interacts with the other person. And it will give you a lot of insights into the possibility of what can happen. Another series that I can also tell you to watch to help you understand the whole concept is Upload. Now in Upload, the story goes, when you die, someone can choose whether to be uploaded to the digital world in order for their memories to keep living on, or to just stay dead and not have their memories uploaded. And the reason for that is because most loved ones never wanted to let go of their families, friends, and loved ones. So in the process, your avatar would be uploaded to the digital world, and anyone who was in the physical world would get to interact with you, see your memories, and still continue talking to you as if you are there, because it would have each and every single memory that you had in the real life.
Wow. I guess we have some movies to binge on. Yeah, I'm actually going to start on it right now, because it's super interesting. Yeah, when you think about the digital world, but some people have come in strongly, or rather not strongly, like Elon. Yeah, Elon Musk has had something to say about the metaverse being like who wants to have their world on their nose. Yeah, the whole thing with the VR technology. But sometimes, I mean, people can be haters. Maybe he wants us to buy on his Neuralinks, yeah, more than the metaverse, yeah. But there are people who have come strongly, actually, trying to talk about this virtual world, yeah, and authenticating it, like Mukesh Ambani, one of Asia's richest man. He actually put in a statement saying that he thinks that the metaverse will unlock that next generation of value creation. So Rich, I'm assuming you are so there believing in that, or you feel like tukombali?
100%. Head, shoulders, neck, the whole body is in there. And so at Picha,
yeah,
a funny story actually. So in 2019, before COVID, we started experimenting with augmented reality to see how we could bring art to life in different ways. Then when COVID hit, we held the first virtual art exhibition on African soil. And this showcased artworks from different artists all across Africa in the 54 countries. And it was a huge hit. When we saw how people reacted to that, it opened us up to the possibilities of a world where people can enjoy things from the comfort of their homes. If you want to visit an art gallery, if you want to go to a mall, you do not have to leave your house. All you need to do is get a link that you can access through your mobile phone or your computer. And if you wanted to even push it further, you could put on VR goggles, these are virtual reality goggles, to put you in that space and get the immersive experience. Now, that is where we are headed. Very soon, when you want to buy furniture, you won't have to walk into the store. You will simply put on your glasses, visit the store virtually, pick out what you want. Then, using your mobile phone, you can actually map out your space, if it's your living room or your bedroom, and place the furniture that you want to see in real time to see and feel what it would look like before you purchase. And that's what the metaverse is doing. It is opening up all these opportunities to interact and experience things on a different dimension. Now, how can people take advantage of the metaverse? Think about it exactly like the physical world. Everything that is here is in the metaverse. If you run an advertising company, there are advertising opportunities in the metaverse because people will want to see new products, new concerts, activities that are happening. Only this time, the billboard that you put up in the metaverse will be digital and not physical. Now, the avatars that everyone will have need to wear cool clothes. They need to have cool gadgets and cool shoes. And all these are things that can be sold in the metaverse to generate revenue for you. So it is not only limited to artists, but it cuts across each and every field.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing, actually. That's amazing. To think about, actually even looking at it from a point of, this is not a dream. This is actually things that can happen for our current lifestyle, yeah? That's what we are putting it out there as, yeah. Metaverse is not the future, it is the current, that we just need to adapt a certain world. I'm sorry for the ladies I know who like shopping, like me, moving around malls and all that, yeah, but maybe we can make our husbands do more work, yeah, because all you have to do, well, just put on your VR, you can go shop around for a little bit of things, yeah. But that is quite interesting about how these applications are so real time, yeah, and how we can actually change how we do things, yeah. So that is, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I hope everybody felt that, yeah, because I feel like I actually felt that. Now, what is the, just so that we clear up on the metaverse, what is the most obscene thing that you've had that has happened in the metaverse? Let's say maybe property being sold for a lot of money, I don't know, collectibles that are crazy, right? What is the weirdest thing that you've heard about the metaverse?
Well, there is a concert that was held in the metaverse, and this was done by, I forget the name of the artist, but it was Travis someone. And so it was a completely virtual concert where people logged in with their avatars, and they would dance and interact in that space. It is interesting because it all started as a visual thing, where the only way to interact with the metaverse was through sight and sound. But now it is being driven as far as feel. Facebook just launched, or rather Meta, just launched gloves where now if I put on the glove on this side and you have the same type of gloves on your side, we could shake hands and feel the pressure as if it was happening in real time. And I'm seeing this being taken further to include bodysuits where someone can touch you and you'll feel it on the other end. And that's how crazy it is.
Wow.
It is unbelievable to just imagine what the possibilities and the limits that it can be pushed to.
Wow. So long distance relationships have a
they have a near
they have a chance. They have an actual chance to make it, yeah? To make
yes.
it. Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. This is pretty interesting. Now I want us to move back to NFT because I feel like in the realm of the African context, yeah? The reason why I'm emphasizing so much on African context is because we get that sense that majority of technology does not suit us, yeah? So is it really opening new opportunities for African artists, or is it still very far off from what? Is it, is Rich Allela among 1 out of 1,000 of people, or are there 3 to, are you getting the ratios, yeah? How is it being received in the African artist African creative context, sorry.
So at the moment, we're actually beginning to see quite a number of artists, quite a number of African artists doing very well with NFTs. And there are a number of projects that have been very successful. And one of the beauties about NFTs is it cuts out the middleman. I have done exhibitions with different agents, different companies, and I can tell you for sure that whenever you work with an agent, the commission that they'll get from you is between 25 to 50% commission on an artwork. And that is a lot of money if you think about it as an artist. Not mentioning the amount of money that you have to spend to print the work and get it to exhibition. So there are so many costs around selling art, which are taken away with NFTs. That's a first advantage. Secondly, when it comes to commissions, most marketplaces take a very small percentage. Like for OpenSea, they only take 2%, which leaves you with 98%. Now that is a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Many famous artists have sold their works, and most of the time we hear about our work going for $1 million, 10 million, or even hundreds of millions of dollars. And you think that the artist got that money, but the truth is, by the time an artwork hits that amount of sale price, it's normally on the secondary market, which means somebody probably bought it for cheap or at a low price, and they get to sell it in a secondary market, but none of that secondary sales go to the artists. So your work might sell for 100 million, but there is no contract really that has existed in the past where an artist gets to make part of that money. Now with NFTs, it has come to change that, because using smart contracts, when you own an NFT, you can set the percentage of royalties that you want as an artist. And this is not limited by any number. It all depends on you. It could range from 5%, 10%, or even 20% royalties. And what this means essentially is, for each and every art that you sell, if someone buys it again, you are entitled to that percentage of royalties for each and every sale in perpetuity. It doesn't matter if it is sold 10 years from now, 100 years from now, you will always get back those royalties. And that's one of the most powerful things about NFTs.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So that is just saying that now as an artist, you've worked so hard on your artwork. So even if you sell it for $10,000, it doesn't mean that's the end of it. It means that every time that thing keeps pushing. So as you keep building your profile, as you keep working hard to be someone known in the market, then your artwork automatically. So what we're saying right now, all the artwork, if Kina, what's the name of this? Mona Lisa were alive today, it could be in the NFT world, it's crazy. Yeah. So we need, that's actually looking at what blockchain is doing for the artist or the art place, is that it's ensuring that in perpetuity, you never lose out. Like you never miss that opportunity to make money because you created something amazing. That is pretty cool. And I feel like for us, African artists, we need this. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's part of what we, we need
and
to make
there have been quite a number of successful African artists in the NFT space. One, like I know in Ethiopia, there is a group called Yatreda, that is YATREDA. Google them and see how they've performed in the space. They create photos, but they mix the photos with videos in a very interesting way by telling the story of the Ethiopian culture. Now, their NFTs have done very well in the market. The other successful NFT artists, there's one in Nigeria called Osinachi, who has also done very well in the NFT space. And personally in Kenya, I, as Rich Allela, I've also done very well in the NFT space. And it is a space where if you take, if you put in the work to create the pieces and learn how it works, it can pay very well. But then I also need to mention that a lot of NFT projects also fail. It doesn't mean that if you go into it, you will make money immediately. It takes a lot of time to learn how they work, to educate your market on the work, and to market your pieces. And that's where the magic lies. Creating NFTs is easy. The hard work lies in the marketing bit, because how you market your work will determine whether it becomes a success or a failure. And that's something that you really need to learn. Now, most artists are not very good at marketing themselves, And one of the things I would recommend is, if you know that marketing is not your strength, team up with somebody to do the marketing part for you. And that's how, and that's actually how most NFT projects have been launched and have been able to become a success. And most of the time, you don't see this in the program, but a lot of things are happening in the background. Normally, there is a whole team that is working on a project. There will be the artist who is doing all the creations. There will be someone who comes up with the story. There will be another team that is doing the marketing, and another team that is managing the community. And all this ties up to make the project a success. So it is not a one-man show, and it is something that you need to think about carefully as you think of getting into that space. Last but not least, in terms of social media, now most people think that you can market your work on Facebook and Instagram, but sadly, it does not work like that with NFTs. With the blockchain, there is a new social media platform called Discord. And this is where the NFT community hangs out. So you need to check out Discord, find out how it works, and join one of them to familiarize yourself with that space. And Twitter is also another huge component of NFTs. So if you have Discord and Twitter, those two are good enough to get you started in selling your work on the OpenSea or the NFT marketplaces. Last but not least, Instagram. So this is not known to many people, but very soon, Instagram is going to launch a new section on the app where you can begin listing your NFT collections. So if you have your pictures, if you have your videos on Instagram, start thinking of them in terms of NFTs and how you can sell them in that respect. I found that with NFTs, when your work is dynamic, that means when it has motion aspects to it, it makes it more appealing to sell and connect with the audience. So as you go out creating, always have that thought in mind. How can I make this work dynamic? How can I make it move? How can I make it have an emotional, or rather create an emotional connection with the audience? And that way you will get to not only create art for the sake of art, but create memorable art that can stand the test of time.
Yeah, these are tips. Yeah, wow, those are amazing tips. I mean, for free. Yeah, you should be paying. You should be selling this somewhere. Yeah, you're saying those are actual tips from someone who is actually doing it. Yeah, so don't get lazy. Don't assume that things will happen overnight. Yeah, like everything else, consistency. You have to put yourself out there. Teamwork with people. Yeah, I like the part that you said it's not a one-man show. Yeah, you need different aspects from different individuals who can make it a reality. And this is way better than 50%, giving out 50% of your money to an art gallery. Yeah, that's still nuts. I'm still not over that. Yeah, that's a lot of money. So please, yeah, check out those tips. Those tips are so important, and we're going to highlight them on our socials so that you don't forget them. Yeah, and check out our socials at Picha Images, both on Facebook, both on Instagram. We're on Twitter on the same thing. Yeah, on our so we really love to give our community all these aspects, or all these assets that we want to highlight. So what she's saying here.
Maybe I can add one more thing.
Okay.
So most of the time, people are scared of working with teams because it means that they will either need pay or you need to have the money to pay them. And as an artist, most of the time you do not have that at the beginning. So how it works when you get a team together to collaborate on a project, you agree on payment in terms of equity basis. So for example, you say, so we project that maybe through this art, we can sell artwork worth $1 million shillings or $1 million. Now, looking at the value of the artwork, the artist can take X percentage, the guys doing the marketing can take X percentage, and the other people can also take this percentage. Now, that will ensure that everyone works to realize the real value of the project, because that is the only way that they'll get paid. If they don't put in the work, they don't get paid.
That's amazing. Yeah, so let's not be scared. Yeah, that's yes. Pretty cool. Yeah, and I like the fact that you can do it even if you don't have a lot of money in your pocket. Now, some might say there's a lot of hype on NFTs, right? And we have this thing that we are centering it on a platform, which is the blockchain. Yeah. So we have, I feel like through the talk, we have kind of moved to the part of, this is not a hype, this is actually something that is really happening. Yeah. So what would you encourage? Like if you were to speak to African artists right now as Rich, what would you encourage people people who want to be in the space to do?
So first of all, it begins with creating dope art. Think of a story that will connect with the audience and that is true to who you are. Then go out and create that artwork in a manner that captures different aspects. So if it's a photography, try and incorporate photos and videos into it. But most importantly, have a powerful story behind it. Secondly, and I cannot emphasize this enough, be patient. Most of the time, your first NFT project will fail or won't sell in a very long time. And that should not discourage you in any way. And it is part of the process. Now, one of the ways that you can shorten your journey to success or sales is by educating yourself as much as possible. Now, on the Picha website, under the Picha blogs, we have different information on NFTs, and we'll be posting more in terms of where you can find the right resources, the right videos, and the right materials to read up on NFTs. Consume all that knowledge, because the more you know, the easier it is for you to navigate that space. Secondly, ask. I had been reading about NFTs, but I was very scared of getting into that space. And one of my friends who has been in the blockchain industry for a while is the one who took the liberty to educate me and walk me through the process. And I cannot tell you how much that took a huge load off my shoulders, because seeing someone I trusted doing that process gave me faith that I could actually navigate this space and get it done. So work with someone who has been in the industry, educate yourself, and be patient. And last but not least, create dope art.
Create dope art.
Yes.
Listen, create dope art. Yeah. Make it worthwhile. That's amazing. Yeah. And if I was an African artist, I would literally, yeah, come to Rich. I'm giving him out for free. I'm kidding, not for free. But yeah, talk to people who have felt it. Talk to people who have gone through it. And the beauty of, and that's why we do these things, yeah? Right now you're sitting with someone who has done it. Someone that you can, they're tangible. Like you know, you can say, this is Rich Allela, a Kenyan artist, an African artist. he has navigated the space. He has bothered to do ABCD just to make it feasible and worthwhile. Now, we've been romancing NFTs so much, but there has to be some downsides to it. What are these downsides?
It's good that you should mention that, because this brings me back to your wallet, number one. Your wallet can easily be hacked if you don't take the right precautions to secure it. And when you have your password and your seed phrase, you need to keep those very well, because number one, if you lose the seed phrase or your password, it means even if you have $1 million in your wallet, it will go just like that. There is no way to get it back. And that's one of the unfortunate things of that world. There is a guy who bought about 100 Bitcoins at the beginning, just when they were starting out. And he had all this in a hard drive together with his passwords. So one day when the mom was cleaning his room, the room was very messy. And among that mess was this hard disk. So she took the garbage, put it in the trash can, and threw it out. Now, this was back in around 2010. Today, 100 Bitcoins are worth a lot of money. One Bitcoin is roughly $45,000, thereabout, or more. Do the math. The guy has been combing through the garbage disposal site for the last 8 years. And that's it. That's just some of the things that can happen in this space. Secondly, your NFTs can be hacked in such a manner that there have been cases where an NFT is listed for, say, $10,000, but someone hacks it and buys it for only $100. Now, you need to be very careful about your passwords, because if someone is able to access the marketplace or your collectibles, then they can manipulate the pieces and get them for a price that is less than what you list. The other downside, I would say, is in terms of, so many people still do not understand NFTs. And you can easily get scammed in terms of someone offering a fake marketplace or volunteering to sell the art for you. There are things called smart contracts that you really need to look into. And one of the ways that you can get protected is to ensure that when a smart contract is done, your work or your account is captured in those details. That way, it makes sure that you're not scammed in any way. And the rest, I would say, is down to knowledge. Educate yourself as much as possible. Take time to read, take time to learn, because most of these things are evolving every day. It is still a new marketplace, and people are coming up with new ways to scam people, new ways of trying to hack your accounts. So secure your accounts, educate yourself, and do not trust easily.
Wow, that's kind of scary. At the same time, it just means that you just need to go that extra step, yeah. And wow, 100 Bitcoins. I think I'm even having shivers on this one, yeah? Can you imagine? You can cry. I also saw a story of some guy who actually sold his Bitcoins for pizza. Have you guys seen that? Yeah, I think it was running around on social media, yeah, where he told the guy, like, just when the whole cryptocurrency was commencing, he told the guy, hey, Ati, I'll just post it. I'll give someone, I don't know if there were 10 Bitcoins. for some pizza, if you can deliver it. So someone just delivered $7 worth of pizza and the guy gave out 10 BTC. So you can imagine the pain that he's feeling. And poor guy, he should, yeah, the guy who is still dumpster diving, yeah, should leave it alone, yeah. So we've seen some challenges here. Security seems to be high up in there. And as you've said, the more things are changing, the more also the hacking world is also looking for ways to take down, yeah, all these things. Gas prices, especially for African artists, becomes also a major thing, yeah. What else? Technical knowledge, yeah. Not so many people have access to that. Yes, some that I can add on to, yeah. So it's all about that. Let's educate ourselves. Let's work in teams. Let's push the agenda for the better of all of us. Now, I want to dive into some questions that I'm seeing, and we are having a Q&A, yeah? We're having a Q&A on our chat section, and don't feel free to ask, yeah? Any question that you feel is touching on your NFT part, yeah? So we have someone asking, Brian was giving us the name of the artist, yeah, who did the concert. Thank you for that, Brian. We appreciate that. That was Travis Scott. Mitchell is asking, how can someone who is not an artist invest on the NFT or take part in it and gain from it? That's actually a very good question, yeah. So if you're not an artist, what else can you be?
So if you're not an artist, you can invest in NFTs by buying the NFTs. And most of the time, most collections are listed at a very low price. And depending on the popularity of the collection, you can make money if the value rises. If you're not an artist as well, so NFTs are not just limited to art, but it goes, even land can be sold as NFTs. So you could be a real estate developer who wants to buy some prime land in the digital space, in the metaverse, and you can develop it much in the same way that you would do in the physical world. Now, I'll give one case study. The most expensive NFT that has ever been sold went for $69 million last year. And at the time of the purchase, people did not understand how someone could pay such a ridiculous amount of money for NFTs. Now, later on, it came to occur that the person who bought the artwork is actually building his own metaverse out there. And the reason he bought this piece was so that it could act as an attraction for people in the metaverse to come and see the space. And he charges for you to come and see the artwork in that space, essentially creating value through the piece. So this is kind of like going to see the Mona Lisa in France. You can, some people will argue that you can Google the Mona Lisa and look at it through your desktop. And that is one way of consuming it, but you can also experience it in a different way. And that's what makes it appealing. Now, just like in the physical world, the area around which that artwork is now has also started becoming prime real estate, whereby people want to buy properties next to that place because of the amount of traffic that goes there. And that way, you can begin looking at such opportunities and what you can put up along those lines to take advantage of that space.
Wow, that's a very good answer, actually. So let's think about it like how the internet was in 1995, yeah? Be those first people to get into the space, yeah? And you can, in the next 20 years, this can be a different story, yeah? We might be sitting here with billionaires. Or we will be. Are we manifesting? I'm not sure. Now, let's move on to the question. So, Terence is asking, it comes down to preference. That's why some are popular and others are flopped. Oh, I think Terence was answering a question of what marketplaces, yeah, and what preferences people have. So Mitchell asked, in terms of starting out in NFT, at which angles should a beginner approach, and which types of arts or themes, complex or simple, should one try and venture into?
Sorry, just ask them again.
So I think Mitchell is trying to ask, if you're a beginner in this space, yeah, what works? What kind of art can you choose? Simple, complex, or does it depend on you as the individual?
Choose the art that resonates with you. Because most of the time, you find that most people try to copy what is out there, trying to create CryptoPunks and all these chips, but ultimately, the audience can always tell whether the artwork is authentic or not. And that will inform whether they will purchase the art or assume it altogether. So create something that is close to your heart and that you're passionate about.
Awesome. Just like anything, when it comes to life, if you're passionate about, then it doesn't become a job, it just becomes part of things that you love. Yeah. And I feel even authenticity comes out when you're doing something that you're passionate about. Yeah, just instead of copy pasting stuff. So I hope we answered you, Mitchell. Michael Kabora is asking, how much does OpenSea charge for gas prices? Like, how much are the gas prices?
So the gas prices vary, and it always changes. Last I tried, it was about maybe $4 to $7, but it keeps varying. Yeah.
Ah, okay, that's quite affordable. Not so bad. But who am I?
It depends on your pocket.
It depends on your pocket, yeah. So I hope we answered you, Michael. And again, we already answered what a gas price is, yeah? It's that fuel that you need to work your digital wallet and be able to transact. You know, miners need money, yeah? There are people in the mining space, yeah? So if you're a miner, or how it works is that, especially with blockchains that are permissionless. Permissionless meaning they're more public. It means that there are people who have to do work, and these are the miners, yeah? How they earn money is by getting new coins, yeah? And also now your gas prices. So that's how they get money. So if you've had people in the cryptocurrency space talking about, I'm a miner, that's what they mean, yeah? They need to solve some equations so that they can be able to earn coins and also your gas prices. And the person who does it faster, the better. So you can check out things like proof of work. You can check out things like proof of stake. You can also check things like proof of elapsed time, yeah? If you're interested in the mining space. Now, Valentine is asking, is there something like an NFT marketer? How can I be one? Ooh, someone is thinking, yeah? So if you want to you can answer us, Rich. Answer Valentine, yeah? Is there an NFT marketer?
That's a very interesting question. And perhaps that is one of the other big opportunities in this space. Because there are not many people who know how to market NFTs, but it is something that you can turn into a profession and make a lot of money doing that. So you can learn how to become an NFT marketer and create a whole team around that. And I can guarantee you there are many people who need those services. And it is something that can take off.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. So if you're looking for a business opportunity, that can be it. If you know how to market things, yeah. And it's all about learning, yeah. Trying new skills, trying something new. This might be it for you, yeah. 2022 might be your year, yeah. So Valentine is asking another question. If I sell NFTs, do I have to pay VAT, or should we skip this part?
Well, at the moment, luckily, you do not have to pay VAT yet, but I don't think that the government will let us enjoy that for long. So you can take advantage of it now. What I always recommend is, as an artist, as a businessman, as a creative, if you're making income, always have or always keep your receipts. Any transaction that you make, keep all the documentation, because when the taxman comes for you, this is what you will use to defend yourself and prove that you've been doing your due diligence as a taxpayer. It is good to pay your taxes, and with proper records, you can always do that. The other way to go about that is, as a business, especially when you're starting out, most of the time you get that your expenses are more than your income. So if you're able to show that you are incurring more expenses than what you're making, then you can be filing nil returns, which then helps you to at least not get into problems with the taxman.
Yeah, be on the right side of the government, yeah, because you don't want them coming for you. Yeah,
because otherwise you will make 25 million, and then 5 years from now, boom, they come and they're like, and you owe us 50 million, which you need to pay today.
And already went through the 25.
Yes, and by that time your business is doing so well, but the amount of money that they're asking for is similar to the Ekeroche case, can literally bring your whole business to a standstill.
That's true.
So keep those records, consult your accountant, and make sure that you're on the right side of things.
Yeah, and that's one thing the government knows how to do: collect tax. Do not be warned. Yeah, they will come for it at some point. We have also seen the way they've been trying to get into the online space, asking influencers and people in the online space to pay. So just be on the right side. I think it helps. Sometimes it can pinch at the moment, but when you look at the highway, I don't know if I'm consoling anybody. Yeah, just be on the right side so that they don't come for you. Yeah, Victor Owino is asking us, NFT artwork or dope art, as Rich puts it, to be styled shoots with powerful stories. How can you venture into the NFT space if you are an event photographer? Oh, this is a nice question, Victor. So how do you do this from an event photographer point of view?
That's an interesting question. And yeah, so it is possible to venture into the NFT space as an event photographer, although there are a number of things that could pose a few challenges for you. For example, number one is you need to have all the rights to the art that you create. So as an event photographer, most of the time, you're taking pictures of people or products that are owned by other companies or people who haven't given you the model release to sell their images. So that becomes very tricky. However, you can decide to shoot events in a creative manner where you don't get to see people's faces or show products, but create interesting art, maybe around the lights, play with the shutter speed and the motion to then create interesting artwork that can be sold as NFTs.
Oh, okay, so be a little bit creative.
Yes,
because I feel like event photographers do. Yeah, you have a lot of content. Yeah, but as Rich said, it's content that might not necessarily belong to you. And if you want to understand more about the IP law and all that, we once had lawyer extraordinaire Liz Lenjo with us, and she took us through IP and the I mean, the things were shocking. Yeah, things shocked us at that point. And it was so just go check that out on our YouTube page at Picha Images, and then you can find out more about how you can play around with being in the event space, what IP is all about, and how you can move around. But if there's a will, there's a way. Yeah. So we have our last question from Michael. Michael is asking us, thank you for answering my question. How does one become a miner? I feel like that one on me because I talked about mining. Michael, you're putting me on the on the spotlight. This is just check out again online. Yeah, all these things are online, and at the same time, be careful. Yeah, there's so many blockchain platforms that are around, and from the likes of MetaMask, from the likes of IPSF. Yeah, there's so much that you can do, and also a lot of now I'm seeing even open learning institutions, yeah, online ones that are giving courses on mining, on blockchain and all this. So if you're interested in that space, you can learn about it. Again, it all starts with the educating part. Once you educate yourself on something, then the opportunities, you'll see opportunities in areas that you might slide through, yeah, at some point, yeah. So that's what I'd recommend, yeah. Try first, learn about how do you mine, because it's about solving equations. How do you do this? Yeah, and when you engage in such platforms, and also follow, there's so many, I mean, what are they called? Platforms on Twitter that deal with this. Check them out, try to be part of those communities, and you're going to learn a lot about it. There's someone, I'm just forgetting the name, yeah.
There's an interesting question from Frank.
Yeah.
And he is asking about which is the most secure wallet, and how can you keep your accounts protected from hackers? So there are different ways to keep your account safe from hackers. And when it comes to wallets, it is advisable that you have your wallet that is off all your digital spaces. So for example, the seed phrase, which is one of the most important recovery tools for your wallet, that needs to be written down somewhere and stored in a physical space where only you can access it. The unfortunate part about saving that online is that someone can easily hack your device and gain access to it. But if someone does not have your seed phrase, it doesn't matter what type of wallet it is, they cannot access your account. So it starts with that. Then, so you can have two wallets, a hot wallet, which is what you use to trade all the time or do all your transactions, and a hard wallet. Now that is what you have offline. And this can be on two different devices. So for the device that will hold your hard wallet, this needs to be a device that you rarely log in online with. And for the hot wallet, this is what you will use to sign transactions most of the time, because any transaction that you do on the blockchain needs to be signed. And that's how it is verified as an authentic transaction. So using your hot wallet, you do all those transactions. Using your hard wallet, that's where you keep your assets. And then never ever sell a device that you've used to trade your NFTs, because your devices will always have digital traces of all the activities that you've been doing online. And if someone is tech savvy enough, they can be able to figure that out. Last but not least, as you're doing your research, you'll come across different marketplaces, different wallets, and you'll want to do your research to find out which is the best one. for that kind of research, I would advise that you use a different device from what you use to carry out your regular transactions, because you never know. Just one click could be the difference between you losing all your money or keeping all your money. So always use a different device for your research and going down all those rabbit holes.
This is intense, but it's doable. I think Frank had a last question. Are there African NFT markets currently?
So at the moment, there is no notable African NFT market. There are a few people trying here and there to create their marketplaces, but none that has really caught on yet. And that is an opportunity for Africans to get into that space. Hopefully, as Picha, we get to launch a marketplace very soon. And it is all work in progress. The more artists we can get on board the blockchain, then the more it makes sense to have a marketplace which is volume driven.
It's all about the volumes.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Thank you so much, Rich. You have really enlightened us on this space, and we feel privileged, yeah, to be sitting and listening to someone who is actually doing I want to say the thing, yeah, but actually making this happen. So as a parting shot, yeah, you're a co-founder of Picha Images, and with all that we have had, yeah, and your interactions with technology, what do you see, yeah, as the future of Picha Images in this NFT space?
So
what you can disclose.
Yeah. So number one, as Picha, we just finished a fresh collection of African art that we are going to be launching very soon, in the few coming weeks. So look out for that, and it's going to be a hot NFT project. The other thing as well is we are looking to help other African artists to learn about the NFT and metaverse space and position them in such a way that they can take advantage of it. There are several opportunities in the metaverse world, and Picha is positioning itself to take advantage of those, from the retail side to the art side and the whole digital side of things. So watch this space as they unfold, and follow Picha Images on all our platforms. Picha Images on Instagram, Picha Images on Twitter, and sign up on pichaimages.com, where you can get to be the first to know when something new is happening. And also keep track of our blogs, because we will be sharing a lot of information there. Most of what we've discussed today are like links on how to become an NFT marketer. We will share that in blogs. So look forward to that as well.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, that is, I mean, you heard it first. And this is from the co-founder's mouth, yeah? So we are saying that we are ready, yeah? And we are not willing to go alone. We want to take all of you together with us, yeah? Because you can only go so far alone, yeah? But together we can really push this agenda. And there's no need of winning alone when you can do it as a team and push more artists. And that is part of our core values as being part of Picha Images. So, guys are saying thank you so much. Enoch says, thank you so much. That was appreciated. Thank you, Enoch, too, for being here. Victor Wino says this session was very informative and insightful. Thank you, Rich, and thank you, Anne. Thank you, Victor.
Thank you all as well. We appreciate you, and it was a pleasure sharing this knowledge with each and every one of you.
Oh, okay, thank you so much, Rich. Yeah, we have learned so much. So please, again, remember our socials. Don't forget to catch us up in there. If you want to check this out or to kind of get the tips that you wanted or some things that you missed out, either if you came in late or at some point, please, we are recording this on our YouTube channel, yeah? And Picha images, just Picha images, yeah? We're not even fun, Picha images, and you'll get it there. So until next time, thank you guys. We are super, super happy and amazed with that. So thank you, Rich. Tumeshukuru sana.
Asante sana.